can't we be honest? This video is brought to you by Beating Black and Blue. Beating Black and Blue, being a black cop in America under siege. My book is available on Amazon. If you already got the book, which a lot of you guys have already got the book, write a comment on Amazon, write a review. Let everybody know what you think about the book. Download the podcast on all podcasting platforms. The B Tatum Show podcast. Text Tatum to 53445. Text Tatum to 53445. Text Tatum to 53445 to be on the text messaging list. Y'all know what to do. Let's get into this. Ladies and gentlemen, why do I always have to be the bearer of bad news? People criticize me often and say, Brandon, you always got to be talking bad about black people. I think that people are misinterpreting what I'm saying because they already have a bias against me or whatever. They get their feelings hurt or the truth hurts or whatever the case may be. But I don't think that videos like this are productive. Why, Mr. Tatum? Why do you feel like you have to talk about this? Because it's rooted in lies that will not create change. If we eliminate all of the stuff that you're going to hear them talk about in this video, it won't make a dent in what we are seeing in the experiences of black men in America, the real experiences. It won't make a dent. So why then are they making video documentaries like this that yield no results? It's all a fabrication. They put some truths in and then they go blame everybody else, but who should be the blame for the real issues in the black community? And also, before I start the video, just imagine if they did this for white men. Roll the film.
Black men are beautiful.
Black men are magnificent.
Black men are innovators.
Black men are brilliant.
Compassionate.
Intelligent.
Complex.
Resilient.
Critical.
Necessary.
Warriors.
Everything.
Cosmic, supernatural, cool. I've always felt.
Now, I have no problem with that, right? I believe that black men are all of those things. I do. There's a lot that are. Not all of them, but there's a lot that are. I don't disagree with that. However, if white people were to make a documentary and they say white men are everything, the best, necessary, would people have a problem with it? Now, I don't have a problem with it if black people do it, and I wouldn't have a problem with it if white people do it. I have a problem if black people can do it and nobody else can do it. But if Asian men want to have a video like this, it should be acceptable in our society. However, I would argue that they will blow a gasket and won't post it on social media or allow it on social media if this was about the white man.
The perception of who we are is filtered through a lens of fear.
Still to this day, black men are not able to just walk down the street without someone assuming that they don't belong there.
Stereotypes that have been put on black men takes place in the newspaper headlines. It takes place on the television, and I think it's played a major role in the bias against black men. It's an atomic bomb.
It's every day for us. Every single day.
Put your hands out the window!
Oh, police interactions. Oh, okay. Oh, I for 1 minute, I thought they were going to talk about the black on black violence, which is permeated in the black community. But, oh, no, they talk about police interactions. We're going to get to the stats in a minute.
That's the narrative. I felt threatened. I felt afraid. If they got on handcuffs, they're still a threat because they're a black man.
Black men are not a threat.
Well, it depends on who you ask.
Black men portrayed as dangerous has been inside of the fabric of America.
You're not dangerous. You the sweetest dude ever. And I ain't talking about sweet in a good way. You the sweetest dude on TV with a dress on. Somebody saying you dangerous?
Culture from the beginning.
Young black boys in America, we don't get a chance to be kids for a long time. There's no room to emote with the exceptions of anger.
Society would have you think that we don't love and really rock with our queens like that, and we do.
Most black fathers are in the home. Well over 50% is a shocker to many people.
We are all living through a very painful time, and we must be able to talk about that.
Okay, I'm tired of listening to social justice warrior stuff. Can we be honest? That's why B. Tatum always have to say something about it. They like, you hate your people. Because we perpetuate lies like this, which makes us look like idiots. And anybody with facts, it makes us look like victims and crybabies. Martin Luther King would never have a movie like this. Frederick Douglass would never be in a film like this. They wouldn't even back then, some of them came from slavery, and they wouldn't say the stuff that these people are saying today. And many of them got dollar bills. So let's attack the question. Are black people afraid to walk outside? No, that's not true. I mean, it may be true that people may feel afraid, but it's an unwarranted fear. Unless you live in an inner city black community where another black man will gun you down in the middle of the street for absolutely no or rob you. Okay. Don't listen to me. I'm just making this up because I don't like black people. Or rob you while you just trying to live your life. And this is what we do to each other. Wait till they come. Do I have to fast forward? The brothers, these are black men. They coming, they finna go to the elevator, go up to their apartment. What happens, ladies and gentlemen? They get robbed by other black men. This is the reason why you can't walk out the house. Stop acting like it has anything to do with white police officers. And if we go back to the situation, because I'm going to testify in the court of law on this issue, if we go back to this particular event that they were referring to, I'm going to show it to you. This one, I made a whole video with like 900,000 views on it, debunking the whole narrative around these cops pulling this idiot over who he had no business taking him on a mile without stopping for them, failing to yield, not listening to any instructions. These officers were incredibly nice to him, but they can't use a real situation where a black man was mistreated. They have to come up and make up stuff. I can give you a highlight tape of how black men are destroying their own communities, more so than police and white people. Let me give you some stats, because stats will set you free. Let me give you a couple stats. Think about this for a minute. Which one is, as a black man in America, what are you more fearful of? Other black men or the police officers that they show here, or white people? Any statistical data that you research, black people kill white people twice as much as white people kill black people. Twice as much. Go down to the police instances. There's been an average of 14 people, give or take, that have been shot by police unarmed in the black community every year. It's been an average of some less, some a little more. 14. Out of 40 million black people, there's been 14. And if you wanted to make the argument that all 14 were illegal, which I would say that probably most of them are legitimate shootings of unarmed people. The classification of unarmed don't mean you're not a dangerous threat to somebody. And then you can look at plenty of these videos, and every single one of them involve resisting arrest and violence against police, and these people end up getting shot. Let's just say 14. You really gonna make a documentary acting like 14 out of 40 million have lost their lives at the hands of police? And when you say thousands of black men a year, what, 5,000, 6,000 a year compared to 14? Let's just do some simple math. Let's just say 7,000 black men a year, 14 black men killed by police. Let's go for the next 10 years if the average are the same. 70,000 black men would die at the hands of other black men. 140 black men would die at the hands of police. 70,000 versus 140. You tell me which one should we be talking about on a video like this? You tell me which expression should we be perpetuating if we want to be honest, and therefore we can make a difference. If you want to say black men are perfect and they're necessary and all this other stuff, then why are we still doing stuff like this? Why are we still complaining about stuff that's irrelevant? You can argue police, but dang, put a real police instance where black people were treated wrong. Y'all picked the one where the cops weren't even wrong. And one of the cops was a Hispanic. One of the cops was a Hispanic dude. The dude in the car is in the military refusing to stop. Finally stopped, never listened to not one of their comply. They didn't comply at all. They pepper sprayed him. They had to force him to the ground, still didn't comply. He had a gun on him. And this wasn't the first time he did something like this. You can't pick a real situation. This is why I believe that a lot of black boys are living in a state of fear for no reason, are living in a state of being or feeling like they are less than because of stuff like this. You're lying. Black men are not under attack in America. Unless you're saying that they're under attack by other black men, I would argue, yes, that's probably the case. In the black community, there is no white people in the black community. In these primarily black communities, there's no white people. Who's doing drive-bys in Chicago? It ain't white people doing drive-bys. Who's killing these kids in the community? Who's teaching these kids at the school? It's other black people. Who's the taxpayers and the people who are paying in this geographical area for these schools? Who's showing up at the school board meeting? Because your kids are there. It's black people that's responsible for this. Take responsibility for your own act. Quit blaming white people. You can blame police. Every police officer ain't white. In the state of Arizona, most police officers are white and Hispanic. It's 50-50 Hispanic. You go a little bit further south, they're mostly Hispanic. You go in California, I bet most of the police officers in California are Hispanic. It's always in Atlanta, half of the police department is black. Anyone in Philadelphia, I would argue that probably about half of the police department in Philadelphia is black. Baltimore, all the people in high positions are black. And you complaining. This is why Brandon Tatum got to always speak out, because I don't like this rhetoric. I don't like painting a picture of black men as always being victims. It's always under the thumb of this proverbial white man, which do not exist. It's a lie. White people ain't worried about you. White people ain't worried about black people like this. They in their own world worried about their own issues. And we somehow feel that, oh, they watching us. They following us. We a threat to them. We don't even live in the same communities by and large as white people. Black people typically live around black people. White people typically live around white people. And then you have a few crossover. Wealthy black people move where the white people at. They don't stay where the black people at. In maybe some cities, you see these situations like that. But by and large, black people move to where white people at who have money. And I guarantee you ain't nobody worried about you when everybody got money. I live in a really affluent area. I do. I ain't never had not one person do anything wrong. I walk down the street with they wave at me and my wife every day. Ain't had an issue with nobody. And I ain't seen another black person. And then they can't find, they make it up. They don't see it, they make it up. They create this. Black fathers at the house, 50% of black fathers at the house. Then why are there so many issues in the black community? Why are we leading the way in so many disproportionately negative statistics? Why do our young women have more abortions than anybody else? Why are we killing each other at a higher rate than other races are killing their own race? Why? Why are we disproportionately affected by police of arrests? Why do we feel the prisons more than anybody else? And you can't act like, oh, it's just racism. It's just racism. No, it's not. It's behavior. We represent more of the violent crime and murders in this country disproportionately. 50% of all the murders that occur by black men, mostly black men. And we only make up 13% of the population. That's a disproportionality. And when you see, why are we disproportionately represented that way? Why are our schools in these inner cities, high school kids reading at second grade level? Why do we have such a issue with gang violence? You don't see that in white communities. You don't see that in Asian communities. It's unique to the black community. Why all these smash and grabs are mostly black people? Like we need to start addressing the things that are going on in our own community first before we start pointing the finger at whoever looking at us when we walk down the street. We got a lot of issues in our own community. We vote Democrat 90+% of the time. We have a loyalty to one party that ain't never done nothing for us. And you know how stupid that is? We have a lot to be worried about versus worrying about the white man and playing the victim. Why can't they make a documentary expressing how excellent black men are and sticking to that? Why come black excellence have to turn into victimhood? That's what I should have said at the beginning of the video. Anyway, I could talk about this for 30 hours. Why does black excellence have to turn into black victimhood? I don't understand. I don't understand. You are weak, cowardice black men. The black men that I see on here are what we call cowards, ladies and gentlemen. These are cowards. This dude right here got his fingernails painted wearing dresses. Bro, let me get out here. Let me get out here before I see him today. I told myself I wasn't going to cuss and I wasn't going to be mean to people. Lord, help these fake, phony, fraudulent people and these cowardice black men who don't have no courage. Always complaining, always pointing the finger at somebody instead of lifting up young black people and tell them they can be whatever they want to be. Talk about black excellence, show black excellence. Y'all still talking about the white man. Let me get up off here. Love you guys. See you on the next one. I'm out.